Hi all, this is Raghu 16. So today I'm going to teach you all the chapter Power Sharing. So finally we reach civics also in our chapter successfully. So I'll try to complete the chapter in 2 videos, and I was saying that I will complete science and all so fast. But the thing is that I was not getting, time to do these videos and all. Yeah. And finally, one of my friends suggested to make a video on political means power sharing. So yeah, even I thought that it'd be a revision for me and also for you. I read this chapter multiple times textbook. So with that confidence only, I came in front of you for teaching this chapter. So if you have any doubt, you can just ask me in the comment section so that I can help you with it. Okay, so let's read the overview of the chapter first. Then let's move because I never read the overview. Let's start. With this chapter, we resume the tour of democracy that we started last year. We noticed last year that in a democracy, all powers does not rest with any one organ of the government. An intelligence sharing of power among legislature, executive, and judiciary is very important to the design of a democracy. In this and the next 2 chapters, we carry the idea of power sharing forward. We start with 2 stories. 1 minute. Yeah. We start with 2 stories from Belgium and Sri Lanka. Both of these stories are about how democracies handle demands for power sharing. The stories yield some general conclusions about the need for power sharing. In the democracy, this allows us to discuss various forms of power sharing that will be taken up in the next following 2 chapters. So I think so there is nothing to explain in this. So yeah, I'm just moving on further. Yeah, let us start with Belgium and Sri Lanka. So, first part of the textbook, they started with the ethnic composition. What does an ethnic composition means? If I say you with the example of India, there are different kinds of people. Kinds in the sense different language speaking people. There are different religion people. So, like this, I can say as ethnic composition means ethnicity. I think so. We have a meaning here. Yeah, see here. A social division based on shared culture. People belonging to the same ethnic group believe in their common descent because of the similarity of physical type or of culture or both. They need not always have the same religion or nationality. Hope you got this point. I explained in a simple manner. So let us start with the textbook reading of this. So from here, you will get 5 marks question. Either they might ask you to explain Belgium and Sri Lanka both, or they might ask only Belgium also, or separately Sri Lanka like that. Yeah. So here, 5 marks question, right? Let me say you how to write a 5 marks question while reading this. Okay. Yeah. So Belgium is a small country in Europe, smaller in area than the state of Haryana. It has a border with France, Netherlands, Germany, and Luxembourg. It has a population of a little over 1 crore, about half crore population of Haryana. Still here, you'll be writing introduction, and then you will be writing these points. This is introduction. Next. Then after you'll write this introduction, right? Full stop. You'll put this and continue. The ethnic composition of small countries is very complex. Means the ethnic composition of small country, instead of writing like that, you can write the ethnic composition of Belgium is very complex, and it is as follows. Like that, you will write, and then you will come to body. You can write introduction, not intro, introduction. Then you'll write that point here. Still here, if you can cut short the introduction. Okay, but yeah, if you have to fill the word limit, you have to use these points or try to extend whichever you can. Then don't write body and write, just leave one line and then continue with it. See here, little where was I? Yeah, here, right? Here. Belgium's country's total population, in Belgium's country's total population, 59% lives in Flemish region and speak Dutch. So let us write at the side that Dutch speaking people, DUTCH, Dutch speaking people are 59%. Okay, we got how many people are Dutch. Let's move on. And they live in Flemish region. Remember the areas also. When we are writing, the areas are also required in this chapter. Next is about 40%. Let me just write here. Yeah. So another 40% of people live in Wallonia region and they speak French. So French is about 40%. Now, yeah, next. Remaining 1% is German speaking people. 1% is German. 59 plus 1 is 60. 60 plus 40 is 100. 100% done. Okay. So let's move on further. This is the introduction. This is a body part for when they're living in normal country, means in that Belgium. Now in Belgium, it has a capital. So in that capital, which language people are speaking, which language speaking people are more and who are less. Let us just see. I'll just clear my drawings. Please note which are point I'm saying. You can write as a question also. Yeah. So for this, the question is, describe the ethnic composition of Belgium and Sri Lanka. Or you can write separately like describe the ethnic composition of Belgium and separately describe the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. Yeah. So now let us come to, yeah, here. In the capital city of Brussels, 80% speaking people are French. Yeah, and 20% people speaking are Dutch. 80 plus 20, it is 100. And again here. So remember the capital of Belgium, it is Brussels. Brussels. Okay. So still here is the ethnic composition. Even there is a conclusion, I'll say you conclusion also. Let's continue this. I'll say you at the end of this, saying this, the ethnic composition of Belgium. Okay. The minority French-speaking community was relatively rich and powerful. This was resented by the Dutch-speaking community who got benefited of the economic development and education much later. This led to tension between Dutch-speaking people and French-speaking people communities during the 1950s and 1960s. The tension between the two communities was more acute in Brussels. Brussels presented a special problem. See here, the problem was the Dutch-speaking people constituted a majority in the country, but a minority in the capital. So remember this, you can prepare whichever you want, means the sentences. You can write this sentence as a conclusion. There was a problem. The Dutch-speaking people constituted a majority in the country, but a minority in the capital. Or you can write the Dutch-speaking people and constituted a majority in the country, but a minority in the capital. So it was a special problem presented by Brussels. Presented by Dutch-speaking people, not Brussels. Presented by Dutch-speaking people, but still, the French-speaking people, Dutch-speaking people, German-speaking people came to agreement and the issue was solved. That you will know regarding this conclusion of issue and accommodation of Belgium. Let's move further and let us continue reading the textbook. Let us compare this to the situation in another country. Sri Lanka is an island nation. Sri Lanka is an island nation. From here, I think so we can start. I'll say you whether you can have to start from here reading. Let's read the points and let's decide, because we can't remember much, right? That day we had to remember whichever easy points I'll say you so that you can note down and you can say. Sri Lanka is an island nation just a few kilometers off the southern coast of Tamil Nadu. Basically, we know, right? Suppose if you take an Indian map, you just find the below India Sri Lanka. Never mind this diagram of Sri Lanka. Yeah, but we find Sri Lanka beneath India, and there is a path, right, with stones. Yeah, I exactly don't remember its name. It's okay. Let's continue. Uh, hmm. It has about 2 crores of people, about the same as in Haryana. Okay, so let's not describe its no location and all. Just write introduction and then Sri Lanka is an island nation, and then it has 2 crore population. It has about 2 crore people, about the same as in Haryana. Again, these points are not required. And let us continue from here. Sri Lanka has a diverse population. The major social groups are the Sinhalese, 74%, and Tamil speakers, 18%. So still here, hope you will note down. You will write introduction and you'll be writing Sri Lanka is an island nation. It has about 2 crores of people, and the same as in Haryana. Sri Lanka has a diverse population. I'm so sorry, I continued here. Yeah, you should stop your diverse population. And its ethnic composition is as follows. Then you'll be continuing. So this will be in body. Let's see what is there in body. Uh, the major speaking people were Sinhalese, 74%, noted down, and Tamil speakers about 18%. And among Tamils, there were of 2 types. Tamils were of 2 types. Indian Tamils and native Tamils. Native Tamils. Native Tamils were also called as Sri Lankan Tamils. Sri Lankan Tamils. Note it down. You can make as a mind map in your book. But yeah, you have to write in sentences. See, Tamil natives of the country. This is the picture of Belgium. Just look at it. I'm moving further. They might ask a picture-based question in our board exam. There is picture-based question, so they might put this picture here also. Just remember, are called Sri Lankan Tamils. There you saw now. I'll just show you. If we can look here, Tamil natives of the country are called as Sri Lankan Tamils. The Sri Lankan Tamils are of 13%. The rest whose forefathers came from India as plantation workers during the colonial period are called Indian Tamils. So there are 13% of Sri Lankan Tamils. So totally here is 18%. So 13% means we have 5% speaking 5% people speaking Indian Tamil. I mean Indian Tamil people are of 5%. Yeah. So where was I? Yeah, Indian Tamils. As you can see from the map, Sri Lankan Tamils are concentrated in the north and east of the country. Okay, let me show you the map. Sri Lankan Tamils. Yeah, see? Sri Lankan Tamils is with orange color, denoted with orange color. See, this is northern part and this is the eastern part. So as I mentioned, they're present here. Hmm. Okay, hope you got it. Then let's move further. I'm showing you with maps. Huh. Mhm. Most of the Sinhalese speaking people are Buddhists, while most of the Tamils are Hindus or Muslims. Just know this point. Because of this, we will have a discussion in accommodation of Sri Lanka also. Mhm. One thing I forgot to stop there. End here for ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. Still Indian Tamil, if you write it is enough. Tamils, this part you don't need to write. Most of this part also you don't need to write. Conclusion, if you want, you write. Otherwise, you can just leave it. If I can, I'll just say you. I just forgot the conclusion. I'll say you at the end. Yeah, so here's what are Buddhist. Most of the Sinhalese speaking people are Buddhist, while the other are Tamils. Most of the Tamils are Hindus or Muslims. I just said just before now only, right? So yeah, again I'm reading because that is an important point for you to note. There are about 7% Christians who are both Tamil and Sinhalese. Note on this also. Actually, we'll have a confusion when we'll sum up this 74 and 18. Let me show you. 74 plus 18, right? Oh, lol. 18. 92. So if we consider 100 minus 92, it is 8. And I still have a confusion. Where is that 8% people going on? If you will find the answer, now I'll pin your answer in the comment. I'm giving you a task first time and social. Just imagine what could happen in the situations like this. In the Belgium, the Dutch community could take advantage of the numeric majority and force its will on the French and German speaking population. This would push the conflict among the communities further. This could lead to a very messy partition of the country. Both the sides could calm control over Brussels. In Sri Lanka, the Sinhalese community enjoyed an even bigger majority and could impose its will on the entire country. Now let us look at uh, let us sorry let's look at what happened in both of these countries. So we'll be starting with Sri Lanka. Majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. Majoritarianism. So let me explain you what is majoritarianism. Majoritarianism is, it is a belief that only majority wins. You have a definition here. You might have a 2 marks question for explain majoritarianism. Wait, I just find for you. Yeah, I got it. Majoritarianism, a belief that the majority community should be able to rule a country in whichever way it wants by disregarding the wishes and needs of the minority. So yeah, majority wins like that. Also, I explained you. We are both same, right? So let us continue with this now. Uh, First, I hopefully think so. You are writing the notes. If not, pause the video and start from starting and start writing notes. Or even though if you want, you can write after the video, looking at the video as by looking at the textbook. We have textbook, right? So I wanted to drink water, so I had to pause this video and I had to drink water, and I just came back. Yeah, because it's a very long chapter and it takes me more time to explain you. So let's continue. So Sri Lanka had emerged as an independent country in 1948. The leaders of the Sinhalese community sought to secure dominance over the government by virtue of their majority. As a result, the democratically elected government adopted a series of majoritarian measures to establish Sinhalese supremacy. So from here, find your introduction and you have to write how much ever you want. And then let's continue. You'll be mentioning in the body regarding the majoritarianism concept. And then they want to ask you like ethnic, accommodation of Sri Lanka, but mostly they'll ask as a question as explain the majoritarianism concept of Sri Lanka. In that case, you'll write this. So regarding majoritarianism, you will be putting in the as a body part, and then you'll be continuing. What first when you write Sri Lanka adopted a series called majoritarianism, in which majoritarianism is a concept or belief that the superior, whichever is there, blah 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 blah, whichever is there in the definition, just write it. I won't say you to just paste whichever is there exactly, because then what's the difference between understanding and by hearting? You can just understand that, explain in your own way, but don't forget the terminology here. Majoritarianism is the key word. Okay, let's move further. In 1956, an act was passed recognizing Sinhalese as only official language, thus disregarding Tamil. Remember this. Who imposed this law? Act 1956 Act. Who imposed this? Comment on the comment section below before I would say you this answer. So if you could read just lines, here you could see Sinhalese. So Sinhalese was was the people who implemented this law. Why do we expect a Tamil people, giving supremacy to a Sinhalese? And of course, yeah, Sri Lankan Tamils, they belong to the same country. And why would they even, give the opportunity of superiority for not recognizing their language as sufficient? Why would they even give that opportunity? So it is Sinhalese. Let's move further. The governments followed preferential policies that favored Sinhala applicants for university positions and government jobs. Government jobs, I think so they can also say as white collar jobs. A new constitution stipulated that the state shall protect and foster Buddhism. The state shall protest and move forward and carry forward Buddhism. Buddhism was most of the Sinhalese, except they were like 7%. In the 7% fewer from Sinhalese and fewer Tamils, right? And so in Sinhalese, there were many people of speaking means of the religion Buddhist. Buddhist religion. Yeah. So we read it before when I was reading regarding the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. So that time we got to know this. And let's move further. All these government measures coming one after other, the other gradual increase the feeling of alienation. Alienation. So let me say you what is an alienation with an example. Suppose if I'm a teacher and there are 5 students in my class. And if I think in a way of I'll be only in support of people who are fair and yeah, who look so good and all. So if in my 5 students, if I choose I'll answer to the questions which this white color who are so handsome, who are so beautiful, if I'll answer only to them, the rest over two people, if I'm taking three are fair, handsome, and all, and two are not that good, and and I'm not concentrating on them, not even answering the doubts properly. I'm just teaching for everyone, and I'm only answering who are good. And even though if I'm answering for who are looking bad, and like giving some facial expression, something like that. So what will happen? These two kids were there are feeling alienated. So that is the feeling of alienated. Hope you understood. Alienation is also a keyword which you should use. They felt that none of the major political parties led by the Buddhist Sinhalese leaders was sensitive to their language and culture. They felt that the constitution and between the Sinhalese and Tamil communities strained over time. See, if I take something an example, for government jobs or white collar jobs, if I can say, white collar jobs or universities entries and all, if I give only access to few people, I mean, only this set of people are allowed to go, won't the others feel alienated and won't they rebel after these people? Let's learn whether they'll fight or compromise. Even I don't know, let's check now. There should be some suspense when we're reading this, so that is why I'm saying like this. Yeah, so here we can just observe the map of Sri Lanka. You can see this is the map of Sri Lanka, ethnic communities of Sri Lanka. From this map only I said you where are Sri Lankan Tamils. Indian Tamils are mostly in the southern part. And yeah, these small patches are Muslims. Here you can see here. And yeah, Sinhalese, the yellow color, we can see they are the most in the country. Let's move further. The Sri Lankan Tamils launched parties and struggles for the recognition of Tamil as an official language. I got a question by reading this. Explain the struggles faced by Sri Lankan Tamil. I mean, Sri Lankan people, Sri Lankan Tamils and Indian Tamils. Like they might ask, then also you can write this answer because you don't want to confuse like majoritism concept of Sri Lanka. That will only the question. No, the questions might differ from it might differ. I can't say person to person because it's not a perspective. Yeah, so it's board examiners thinking process, not examiner, who are preparing the question paper. So it is his or her thinking process, how they would prepare the question paper. Yeah, but for that we should not get confused, right? Yeah. So for regional autonomy and equality of opportunity in securing education and jobs. But the demand for more autonomy to provinces populated by the Tamils was repeatedly denied. It was continuously denied. See, if I take an example, let me say you one thing. Why are these Tamils not coming back, are unable to come to power even though it's their country? Why? If you have such doubt, you should see it again. See, because I mentioned you before, Sinhalese were most of the members in the country. So if there are more, of course, the votes would go to Sinhalese. You got my point? I think so. Votes would go to Sinhalese who are contesting in the elections. But as Sri Lankan Tamils who are there are so I know so less than number. So that is why the Tamils who are participating in political parties are not coming back to power. But their demand for yeah, still here. By the 1980s, several political organizations were formed demanding an independent Tamil ALM. Tamil here ALM means state, Tamil state, and northern and eastern parts of Sri Lanka. In northern and eastern parts of Sri Lanka, I thought there was continuation. Yeah, no worries. Let's continue. The distrust between the two communities turned into widespread conflict. I gave you two options at the before I was saying regarding this. They will compromise or they will fight against. So here they are fighting against. That's a good thing instead of compromising and pushing over their wills and being alienated. It soon turned into a civil war. As a result, thousands of people of both the communities were killed. Many families were forced to leave the country and refugees, and many more lost their livelihoods. You have read in chapter 1 of economics textbook last time. Okay, so now I had to go to this chapter 1 class 10 economics. Okay, let me make a separate video of that. Yeah, but first let's complete this about the Sri Lanka's exponential record of economic development. Yeah, it is actually better than India, right? Before when in the textbook. Not present situations, yeah. Education and health, but the civil war has caused a terrible setback to the social, cultural, and economic life of the country. It has ended in 2009. They abruptly ended. It has ended in 2009. They didn't say whether the Sri Lankan Tamils got their freedom against the Sinhalese or not. They didn't mention it clearly. Yeah, but they got the freedom from Sinhalese. Let's move on to accommodation in Belgium. Okay, the Belgian leaders took a different path. They recognize the existence of the regional differences and cultural diversities. I don't have enough patience to do this video more. I'll explain you the rest of the video, rest of the part of the lesson in my next video. Stay tuned. Bye bye.